Welcome to 5 and 5, the video series where Complete Discovery Source partners with Relativity to tackle 5 important e-discovery questions in just 5 minutes. I'm Mike Milicevic, Vice President of e-discovery Product and Solution at CDS, and today I'm joined by Kelly Wehbi, Senior Manager, Expert Product Services at Relativity. We're going to be diving into the world of prompt engineering, specifically what it means, why it matters, and how Relativity's aiR for Review makes advanced AI accessible and effective for legal teams. So let's get into it. First question, Kelly, what is prompt engineering?
Yeah, so in the world of interacting with a foundational model like GPT directly, or working with an application like ChatGPT, prompt engineering is just the process of writing clear, specific instructions for the model so it returns the results you want. You can adjust and iterate on the instructions to make the responses more accurate, more specific to the subject matter or the task you're trying to complete, or you can tweak the prompt to modify the output entirely. So it's a skill that's really most helpful when you're interacting with an LLM that hasn't been built to accomplish a specific set of tasks.
So it sounds like prompt engineering might require some specialized skills. How is prompt engineering different with aiR for Review?
Well, there for review, we don't ask users to be prompt engineers at all. Our applied science team, product engineering, they've done all the work to engineer and build the underlying prompts in aiR for Review. So all users have to do is define the specific criteria for their matter. It includes an overview of the case, key players, organizations, as well as the instructions that define what makes a document relevant or what might make a document responsive to a particular issue.
Got it. So that seems a lot more manageable. It sounds really similar to a standard review protocol that I'm sure legal practitioners are already familiar with creating and using. But how can prompts be verified or validated?
And to validate prompts in aiR for Review, for production, for instance, the techniques are the exact same you'd use with any technology-assisted review. So typically that means taking a random statistical sample, measuring precision, recall of your results, probably performing an illusion test before you finalize your production. So we have those statistical methods, but in addition to that, aiR for Review also gives you really specific outputs, so rationales, considerations, and citations that'll explain why a document was predicted to be relevant, why the model may have gotten that prediction wrong or a counterpoint, and any cited text from the document that explains the relevance. So it's sort of the equivalent of getting back notes from your reviewer on every single document they code for thousands of documents an hour.
So pretty standard validation methods that we're all familiar with from TAR workflows, with of course the added benefit of aiR's rationale, considerations, and citations to make that process even easier. So how does natural language prompting help address topical diversity within data sets?
The kind of natural language prompting you can do with aiR gives you a lot more control over the specific topics or the issues you want to find. So the types of models that are used in a TAR 1.0 or 2.0 review are usually more limited in that they require large volumes of training data that are focused on specific subject matter to help you produce the type of precision or recall that you typically need for a document review. With an LLM and with aiR, you can use natural language to describe the specific concepts you want to find, and aiR will analyze every document individually to make a decision. So it's especially valuable to find issues that have really low richness, since you don't have to hope that your training set includes one of the few examples of that issue.
I think a lot of our clients would be really happy to skip kind of the long and tedious training process that's required with TAR models. Last question, what else should users consider when creating review protocols using aiR for Review?
Yeah, the most important thing is really don't overthink it. You want to be really direct and really specific of what it is you want to find. So review protocols are historically written to be really broad, probably out of a concern that the human reviewer would maybe miss something important if they're not told to find a document that they maybe don't have the sufficient context for. With aiR, the model has the knowledge of the entire internet, along with all of the case-specific context that a subject matter expert provides. And that means that that subject matter expert, the attorney on the case, can be really targeted with what they want to find, and aiR will still have enough knowledge to find additional relevant documents without maybe describing the specific type of document you want to find.
Awesome. So less is more with prompting, especially given the model's pre-trained knowledge. I think that wraps up another episode of 5 and 5. Huge thanks to Kelly for walking us through prompt engineering and how aiR for Review simplifies that process. Please stay tuned for more episodes of CDS and Relativity, where we continue to break down the latest in e-discovery innovation. See you all next time.